Okay, in this video I'm going to have you work on what you did yesterday, okay? More practice. You did a really good job, by the way. So, if I try to add these here, that's not 0 and that's not 0. I mean, if you're on a number line, you're at -4 and you go 1 to the right, that wouldn't take you to 0. If you're at 9, you go 3 to the left, that wouldn't take you to 0. So, let's look at our x's and let's get them to be the same. So we have a 1, so times 1 times 1 times 1. You have a -4, but I would just times by 4. I would not times by negatives when doing this little part right here. So -4 times 1 is -4x. When you times by 1, everything stays the same. So plus 9y equals 9. Now on the bottom you have 4x minus 12y equals -24. You're timesing them all by 4. Now look at your 4's. Are they the opposite? Negative, positive, they are. So we can cross them out. Okay? We don't need to change anything. And now we add. So we take 9 plus -12. That would be -3y. Over here we take 9 plus -24, -15. I can go ahead and divide, and that equals 5, so y is equal to 5. Okay, now I need to solve for my x, so I'm going to use this equation. You can use any of the 4 equations. I would use the top one. -4x plus 9y equals 9, so y is 5. So 9 times 5 is 45, okay? So minus 45, minus 45. Okay, 9 minus 45 is going to be -36. Now I can divide by -4, and I have my x solution. I got 9, okay? So 9, 5. Okay, example 2. Okay, that's a 1, remember, okay? That's 15. That's not going to be 0, so we got 10, so we'll times 10, and we'll times 5. So I got to times the rest of this by 10, the rest of this by 5. So it's 50x plus 10y. 9 times 10 is 90. At the bottom you have 50x minus 35y, -18 times 5, -90. So you got negative plus plus, okay? Because to cross them out, you have to have the opposite, and if you don't, you have to make it that into a negative, then that has to be changed, and that has to be changed, okay? Now we can add 10 plus 35 is 45y. 90 plus 90 is 180. Now I divide by 45, and that equals 4. Y is 4. Now to solve for the x, let's go to the top. 5x plus 1y equals 9, so y is 4. And I take 1 times 4, so it's 5x plus 4 equals 9. Subtract 4, 5x equals 5, divide by 5, and I get 1, okay? Okay, example 3. So if I'm at -3 on a number line, I go 9 to the left, I'm not going to be at 0. If I'm at 7 on a number line, I go 5 to the right, I'm not going to be at 0. So we'll need to multiply. Just multiply it by 9. Don't do the negative, okay? 3, just do 3. Just trust me, it's a lot easier if you don't times by negative. So it's -27x plus 63y. -16 times 9 is -144. bottom, negative 9x times 3 is negative 27x. 5y times 3 is 15y. 16 times 3 is 48. Okay, these have to be the opposite. They're not the opposite. They're both negatives. So if I make that positive, change it, but then the 15 has to change into a negative. The 48's a negative. Now watch how I add this here. I need to take 63 plus negative 15. Okay, the 15's negative. So when I add, it's 63 plus negative 15. Here, I'll put little pluses here. Okay. 48y. Over here I have negative 144 plus negative 48, negative 192. I divide by 48. Negative 192 divided by 48 is negative 4, so y is negative 4. And let's get x, so use the original top, negative 3x plus 7y equals negative 16. Y is negative 4. Seven times negative 4 is negative 28. Now you can write negative 3x plus negative 28 or negative 28 plus 3x. It really doesn't matter. So I add 28, add 28. That's 12, negative 3x. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. That's going to be negative 4. Okay, last sample problem. Okay, so number line. If I'm at negative 7, I go 2 to this way. That'd be negative 5. That won't work. If you're at 1 and go 3 backwards, no, that's negative 2. So none of that works. So we got times 2, times 2, times 2. Just times it by 7. Okay, why not negative 7? Because it makes it a pain in the butt. Okay, you have to be changing signs and everything. If I just multiply by positives, I can keep all my signs the way they are, at least until I'm ready to cross out. So negative 7x times 2 is negative 14x. 1y times 2 is 2y. And negative 19 times 2 is negative 38. Okay, bottom, 2x times 7 is 14x. Minus 3 times 7 is 21, 21y. Then 19 times 7 is 133. Okay, you have a positive and a negative. So again, when we add them, they cancel. We add and add. So I take 2 plus negative 21, that'd be negative 19y. Negative 38 plus 133, 95. Now I divide both of them by negative 19. Negative 5. Okay, so y is negative 5. Okay, now let's look at the top one. Negative 7x plus 1y equals negative 19. So y is negative 5. So 1 times negative 5 is negative 5 equals negative 19. You'd have to add 5 to get that out of there. And I go negative 19 plus 5, negative 14. Now I divide by negative 7 and I'm there. Okay, that's 2. Okay.